So this is about the antagonizing spirit, Jezebel, and this world calls it having a narcissistic personality disorder a lot of the time. But she's talked about in First and Second Kings, and then they talk about the persecution of prophets, specifically Elijah, and she operates she/he, because it's a spirit. It can be anybody. Operates with manipulation and injustice. For example, like when I was in middle school, I was like, God, I really want to play alto saxophone, and I wasn't gonna pay for it because I'm in middle school, and my parents weren't gonna pay for it because they don't like me, and if they knew I wanted to play it, they wouldn't have got me one. So I didn't really pay for it, but I was just like, I want to play that. And then this lady, that was a friend of my mom's, told her that her daughter was getting braces and she was going to not play alto saxophone before. Like, she didn't want to play anymore, and she owned a saxophone. And she was like, hey, just called my mom up one day. They hadn't even talked in a long time, and she's just like, hey, I heard, like, I know your daughter plays an instrument. Would she like to have a saxophone? And we ended up playing Wii. I never played Wii Sports. It was actually pretty fun because we went to her house and then they talked, and then I just got a saxophone, and I had it all the way until adulthood, and I kept playing it forever until eventually, I said it got sick, but it didn't really get sick. It rusted because it was in a trunk because I was homeless and moving a lot. But yeah, very sad when that happened, actually. Anyway, my parents at that time took, I remember one time, my mom was supposed to pick me up from band practice, and I had my saxophone, and she was with my aunt, and my mom kept telling me to go different places to pick her up, and then the one place that I told her to pick me up at, she never was at, and then would have me run around the whole school of Edgewater after I already had been at band practice and school the whole day. And then I finally got mad and I told her off, and I called her a bad word on the phone, and my aunt heard it. And then my mom played the victim, and she took my saxophone and gave it to my aunt. And then my aunt told me about how bad I was as a daughter, even though my mom pretty much tricked me and antagonized the whole situation. And then, not that I was right to curse my mom out, but it is what it is. I just did that at the time. But anyway, and then the second time that I was put in a situation was when I eventually ended up homeless, I wanted my saxophone from my room, even though it was my saxophone and it was given to me. My parents took it and hid it from me, and they actually called the lady after, I don't know, 15 years of me having a saxophone that she gave me. They tried to give it back because I wanted to keep it, even though it was already mine, because it was given to me by somebody else. They took it and they tried to give it back to say, we don't want it anymore, even though it was already mine. So they tried to manipulate the situation and cause injustice, but just like Jezebel does, just like she does in the Bible as well. And the lady was basically like, no, Stephanie can have it. And they were like, oh. So I had my saxophone. Still played it for a while though. It was very sad when it rusted. Very thankful for the person that gave it to me. I believe she passed away, but I was very thankful for her kindness, and I saw the blessing in it, and I still will never forget that, because it really helped me a lot to know that even though people closest to you don't really care about you sometimes, strangers can still help you and be kind to you, and God provides. So that's what that taught me. But anyway, seeking to undermine, what Jezebel also does is seeking to undermine and replace God's ways with her own will. Just like this story, like my parents tried to get rid of my saxophone, and then they didn't even get to do that because I ended up getting to keep it anyway. What else? They also did that with my clarinet too. I had it since I was in middle school, and they took that too. And we're like, oh well, you played it, like, but they basically made me feel like, caused me to feel like it was rented out to me, even though they gave it to me. But once I didn't want to be controlled anymore, and then they were like, no, like, this is ours. And you may feel like that's warranted because, like, they're your parents, but if you're actually giving people stuff, then you're supposed to give it to them, not take it when they don't want to be abused anymore. That's not actually love, and that's not actual care. Anyway, but yeah, and then if you think about it, like, wanting to create scenarios where you get what you want, like these people that are using like these love things to get people to love them, like that's Jezebel, that's witchcraft, and they're trying to do that in a counterfeit way, but it never works out. And then like they're trying to manipulate switch situations and then pretend like it's them, like it's all like woohoo, like this is all great, it's all perfect now. Like that's not how it works. And it's disrespectful to God and disrespectful to what he's building in people's lives that you're corrupting, as well as your own life, which you're interrupting to have a counterfeit fake purpose. So that's what Jezebel does, men and women, and you can read about it in 1st and 2nd Kings. See ya. God bless you.